Welcome, folks. This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review Jeffree Star's debut 2009 album, Beauty Killer. Now, I've reviewed a number of Jeffree Star projects, but this is basically his only album. He does have a couple more projects that I'm going to review after this, but this is basically like his breakout project where he, after the he had some MySpace success and he was an early internet celebrity, but later on he was starting to blossom quite a bit and wound up like getting to the point of being like a hot topic sensation and really big in the alternative scene with like going on like the Vans Warp Tour and stuff like that, touring with the Millionaires and Hollywood Undead and those type folks. And like it really culminated towards the end of 2009, and really he crested from 2008 with his Cupcakes Taste Like Violence EP that I reviewed a few years ago. But that was pretty good. He carried a single over from that project. The unfortunate thing about it, this album is going to get a very high score, but the thing about it is there were like some songs, like he did kind of like a cover song of like a Black Eyed Peas song that was popular around that time, and he had like a promotional single called Blush, so there was some stuff that didn't quite make the cuts. Too bad he didn't drop like a mixtape or something to where we could have gotten some of those songs, but a lot of the music on here is quite excellent. That's kind of the situation about it. It really kind of has like a true mastery of like electronic and like pop kind of club based dance music type element, or yeah, pop dance based music type concepts and elements that kind of go along with that. And it just has a real excellent type feel that it basically is the perfect weekend number in a lot of ways. Is one of, I would have to say, easy kind of go out, just dance, drink, dance some more, flirt, that type stuff, drive around, these type things. Just moments for easy kind of raves, drags, dance clubs, regular clubs, bars, sports bars, just the type of stuff that kind of has like, I feel like this type feeling has like a pretty much just shot in the arm the whole way through, just in terms of the outgoingness that this project kind of conveys. And I mean, the thing, I know Jeffree Star caught some flack for not having like the most lyrical type presentation, and like it kind of seems like, he is like crunkcore, which doesn't have like a lot of popularity in terms of at least like critic standpoints. But I don't know where, like, I still to this day cannot figure out, I still continue to question the concept as to why some of these songs just don't traffic more, because really to me this is a popular niche. That's kind of the thing about it. This feels like this is one of the moments where you would prefer to listen to like the more kind of consumer standpoint more so than the critic standpoint, because this album is just pure fury, and it's just pure fire the whole way through. There's nothing, for the most part this project has minimal weaknesses, and it's just for any time of going out and being a flirt and that type of stuff. There's really not too many other projects you can go better with, at least in terms of like album quality. I mean, you'll find some hot club songs, Breathe Carolina, Tupac, Lil Wayne, these folks can do that type stuff, and other folks, but it just is kind of, I mean, this is a pure jolt of energy that's just a lot of fun. So I just would have to say, so there were 4 singles plus a few promotional singles, but I'm going to try to at least do the ones that were on the album. So the first single was Prisoner, and this kicks off the energy of the project, because this is like a really high tempo kind of rave and EDM type cut, especially back in 2009 when EDM wasn't wholesomely popular. LMFAO and David Guetta were kind of starting to crest with that sort of stuff, but Jeffree Star had his own electronic version of that, which worked pretty well. Has a nice hook on there. This kind of really kicks off the energy automatically, so you know what you're getting. I mean, really, I felt like Beauty Killer probably would have made sense as like the true first single, because that has like a lighter and just more club based tempo. But he started off the promotion of the album single wise with a rave song, which is pretty awesome. I definitely give that credit. The next one is Get Away with Murder, the second single. Now, Get Away with Murder kind of tones down the pace compared to Prisoner. It's not quite as furious, but it is basically like a high tempo dance club song and kind of like a lower tempo rave song. I feel like this is a great 1-2 punch for getting some rave music. Is automatically stepping out, and not just maybe like Wednesday night, Thursday night kind of music, but easily kind of Friday, Saturday night, stepping out, really having an excellent time kind of feel. Another good hook on here. Just easy kind of dance. I mean, this can work in a dance club more than Prisoner, but I feel like both of these are quite excellent. This is 2 for 2 here. The third single is Beauty Killer. This one really kind of feels like the club bop. This is just kind of like a just stepped out to the club, just kind of mingling a little bit, kind of enjoying yourself. Really has a fantastic hook. This is an excellent hook on here. Jeffree Star's singing is just melodic and hypnotic, syrupy, just real kind of earworm kind of quality about it. To me, this is a song I downloaded back in the day, and this happens to be really excellent. Just a complete top notch kind of hook on there, and it just works as like an easygoing kind of club song. And it's just basic. It's not quite as dance club ready, but I do feel like it has like a nice kind of still weekend kind of bop about it. It's a bop, not quite as furious as Prisoner or Get Away with Murder, but it does carry the energy if you just don't want something so quite as electric. And so it's still a great song. So this is just good night moments here. Beauty Killer is excellent. Lollipop Luxury was the single off of his Cupcakes Taste Like Violence EP from 2008, but it has an added mixture towards it with Nicki Minaj from Young Money. And it's interesting to kind of get her on here because really Jeffree Star secured like a verse from her before Nicki Minaj was really famous with songs like Bedrock and her Pink Friday promotion. So he secured her before she really blew up in like the rap game. He was one of the first to kind of mess with her. I mean, she was around in 2009 and some of 2008, but in terms of like studio albums that you can purchase, this is one of the first Nicki Minaj verses. So it's good. I mean, I like the concept of that. Nicki was sexy on the song, and Nicki was sexy on the song, and she added to Lollipop Luxury to kind of give it kind of like that feminine twist on there. I mean, Jeffree Star did that also, but Nicki Minaj did a real good job of that. So it just it's really is a good kind of electronic club song. I appreciate it. I like the original version, but I do appreciate the version with Nicki Minaj on there also. She didn't drop the ball, and she added like an extra kind of twist on there to kind of make it even more kind of sultry and that type of stuff. So it's good to kind of get that. And there was like a promotional single, Love Rhymes with Fuck You. This is like another real kind of rave song, just to kind of, and really I feel like this is a drag song. I feel like this is kind of more on the drag scene, something you'd hear on the runway or something. And it just reminds me of I mean, it could be rave, but I feel like it's just the tempo behind it is just crazy enough to the point where I don't know how many clubs or radios would pick up this record just because of how like outrageous and quick the song is. But it's a great song. It's definitely good kind of like violent kind of sexual kind of song in a way, and it just kind of has like the concept of just a lot more bite and kind of aggressiveness towards it. Definitely works for what it is. I don't think the single would be charting just because the title Love rhymes with Fuck You, but it is a great song to kind of hear and just has like the drag feel and the rave feel depending upon what day you like, just depending upon the day that kind of the song would pop up and stuff. I mean, raves are, obviously they have that tempo of just the more crazy vibe, but I really feel like it's kind of like a more kind of like hardcore version of like the nightlife. So it's kind of, but I mean, it's not like I have a problem with it, which I don't. I would listen to this song often. I enjoy the song quite a bit. But that's the promotional single. So really, really, this album is excellent. And there's plenty of stuff on here. I feel like just the overall concept of some of the moments, like if you're looking for more kind of crazier moments like Love Rhymes with Fuck You and then Prisoner, there is like Gorgeous, which has a real kind of real like pretty furious tempo on there, and Fresh Meat's pretty crazy also. But there's just a number of like songs, like I feel like Electric Sugar Pop, Bitch Please, Fresh Meat, God Hates Your Outfit are God Hates Your Outfit are all kind of like electronic kind of dance club numbers that are great for like stepping out. I mean, the thing about it is Jeffree Star didn't just he went the extra mile just because he doesn't just have like a lot of singles that are intended for like going out and stuff, but he also packs the album with plenty of moments just to kind of say it's just an overall fun and social kind of moment. And and it works in a lot of ways, and it kind of has like that energy just because you can find some extra songs. Like I can see Bitch Please having popularity, I can see God Hates Your Outfit having popularity, I can see Party Crusher having popularity. I mean, a lot of these kind of come off as just like perfect expansion to it. I feel like this is probably something that a club could just play the whole CD and no one would really notice. They just would pretty much go along with it. Now, obviously, I would handpick some of these songs to be able to have some of them, and just stretch out and put them in the proper order. But I definitely feel like there are more than 7 or 8 or 9 songs on here that are perfect for a club, a dance club, a rave, electronic scene, a night venue, a bar, some of that type of stuff just to really go along with it. And Jeffree Star has the perfect kind of breathy energy that just kind of comes off. I mean, he is a man, but the same concept about it is he has that kind of sultry aloofness about him that kind of provides that's just kind of what night venues are looking for in the sense of that flirty kind of nonsense. I mean, or that flirty kind of concept. So it's just kind of Nicki Minaj really doesn't get like this. It's interesting to kind of get her on a song like Lollipop Luxury because she really didn't step out that much. I mean, when you look at like her stuff she did with Pink Friday, it would be great to kind of see Nicki Minaj do an album filled with Jeffree Star type tunes. That's kind of the concept. So really, Jeffree Star got Nicki Minaj to kind of come out of her shell, and that's necessary. And Breathe Carolina, I wish I would have liked this song, but I just felt like it was the wrong song. It was just kind of loud and kind of like not ornate. It just did not have a real kind of punctual kind of concern towards it. I really felt like Breathe Carolina, with how excellent they are electronic, and they're kind of like a cousin of Jeffree Star's style. I would have felt like they would have worked better on Fresh Meat or Party Crusher or Electric Sugar Pop. Those would have been some better songs for them. I just didn't appreciate Fame and Riches, Rehab Bitches. And Queen of the club scene was another one that was kind of like, I mean, that one was kind of popish, kind of like Beauty Killer, but a lot more tame and tepid and that type of stuff that didn't quite go as well. I mean, I liked the title of the song, but it was kind of a letdown. And then Get Physical was kind of a racy kind of song, but I mean, I felt like Fresh Meat, Gorgeous, and God Hates Your Outfit were better versions of that. So it's just kind of, I don't know, it just felt like not quite the mixture. So I mean, those were the only 3 songs I didn't enjoy. So basically, I'm reviewing like the Hot Topic version, the iTunes version with the 3 bonus songs, which would be Gorgeous, Party Crusher, and God Hates Your Outfit. So the Hot Topic version, the iTunes version, is the one to get because these 3 songs are pretty excellent. They all enhance the project even more, getting 15 songs on here. But the basic only 3 songs out of 15 I didn't enjoy were just Get Physical, Fame and Riches, Rehab Bitches, and then Queen of the Club Scene. Other than that, the whole album is great. And that's just kind of the concept about it. There's so many songs like that just enhance the weekend, have a great electronic kind of feel, or just about, I mean, even cruising in the car, getting ready to go to the club and that type of stuff, or places that you're going to go, the dance scene, places like that. They get you amped, they get you excited, they make you want to have a drink or two, they make you want to flirt and step out and just kind of go through the night and last. I mean, that's just kind of the concept. So it just works in that context, and it's just an overall fulfilling project. So I'm going to give this album a 10 out of 10 just because there was enough on here. I really feel like some of my favorites, I definitely liked all of the singles: Get Away with Murder, Prisoner, Beauty Killer, and Lollipop Luxury with Nicki Minaj. Plus Love Rhymes with Fuck You was pretty good. And Fresh Meat, Gorgeous, God Hates Your Outfit were great club songs that are just album cuts. I mean, there's just how many Bitch Please is a great one. So there's just plenty of moments that kind of can be, even though they're album cuts, like this is the sort of stuff that people used to praise Eminem for doing, like back on the Marshall Mathers LP days and the Eminem Show days, where you would get songs from Eminem like Soldier and Till I Collapse, and those type moments where it's just like, and like Drug Ballad, where he would have like these backing points where he just had some extra kind of hits in there where he would keep, despite the fact that he would get to the 4th or 5th single, he would still have extra cuts on here to say that this is a classic. And there's just no way, especially in the alternative sense. I know this is not like, I mean, you have to have an acquired taste for like alternative to really get into like some of this electronic. I mean, if you don't like electronic and club type music, it may not hit as much home because there's not really like a number 1, number 2, number 5 single on here. But I do kind of feel like in terms of how this album kind of hits. I feel like in terms of how this album hits, it just has a blockade. This bombards you with this hit after hit after hit, and that's kind of the thing. So, but this is not commercial; it's alternative commercial. I mean, Jeffree Star did great in like the hot topic scene, the alternative scene, like the more off to the side and you know alternative kind of mindset. But if you're not a part of that and you don't know like some of that type of stuff, if you've been raised in like a different assortment, it kind of works. But just that's kind of the concept as far as that goes. So 10 out of 10. The social score I will give like basically a 10 out of 10 also, just because it had so many singles. Plus, if you seek this album out on Wikipedia and you find a few songs that were like promotional singles like Blush and the Black Eyed Peas cover song, there was a bunch of promotion for this project, and I'm sure that it was probably night out music also, just to kind of. It's too bad that some of these. I mean, Jeffree Star had MySpace songs that he did, so just a bunch of stuff that kind of went along with that. Just leftover cuts that didn't quite make the cut. So it's just great promotion for this album, and that's just kind of the concept. Like in terms of the future, like Jeffree Star has, he's on YouTube. You can find him on there. He does beauty products and that type of stuff. But I think his music career is basically on the shelf, which is too bad because this is a great record. I mean, I have to say, like, in terms like this is like an alternative classic, I would have to say. But in terms of like the commercial sense, it may not get the attention, which is too bad because it deserves it. So just understand that.